Hello, good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the physical properties of metals. Okay, before that, I tell you that we have some ores of metals here. The name of the ores given, and these are the metals and chemical formula. So from each metal, at least you have to know one ore and its chemical formula. Like aluminum has three ores: bauxite, cryolite, and diaspore, and their chemical formulas are given here. Copper, copper pyrites, copper glands. So like this, you have to keep in mind at least one ore from each metal, okay, and their chemical formula also. It's important for exam. Okay, physical properties of metals. Some of the common physical properties of metals are given below. Physical state. All the metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. Mercury is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. Color. Most metal except gold and copper are silvery gray in color. Except gold and copper are silvery gray in color. Gold is golden yellow and copper is reddish brown. Luster. Metals usually have luster. When light strikes a polished metal surface, all of it is reflected because of the looseness of valence electrons. Hence, the color of the reflected light is not altered. Metals are lusters, metals shine because of looseness of valence electron. When light strikes on a polished surface of a metal, then it will reflect all the lights, and that's why we see that metals shine. Hardness. Metals are generally hard, but all metals are not equally hard. The hardness varies from metal to metal. Metals are generally hard, but all metals are not equally hard, okay? The hardness varies from metal to metal. For example, metals like copper, iron, aluminum, etc. are quite hard. They cannot be easily cut with a knife, but sodium, so you have to know this metal. Sodium and potassium are so soft. Sodium and potassium are so soft that they can be easily cut with a knife. So which metals can cut easily with a knife? Name of the metals are sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are very soft. Ductility. Some metals can be drawn into wires. This property of metals is known as ductility. Some metals can be drawn into wires. This property of metals is known as ductility, and the metals which show ductility are called ductile. Copper, gold, and silver are ductile metals. Copper, gold, and silver are ductile metals. Malleability. Some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. Some metals can be beaten into thin sheets without breaking. This property of metals is known as malleability. Already we have discussed about the malleability of a metal. So the substances which can be beaten into thin sheets is called malleable. This property is known as malleability, and the metals which show malleability is called malleable. For example, gold, silver, and copper, etc. Gold, silver, and copper. Density. That's why actually gold, silver are used for jewelry product. Density, the mass of a substance per unit volume. The mass of a substance per unit volume is called density. Metals usually have high density. Metals usually have high density. So density is mass per unit volume. Mass in grams divided by volume in centimeter cubes. Solubility. Metals usually do not dissolve in liquid solvent. Metals usually do not dissolve in liquid solvent. Conductivity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Electrical conductivity of metals like silver and aluminum is quite high. So these properties you have to know. The physical state, metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. Color of metals, luster, hardness, ductility, malleability, density, conductivity, solubility. So these are the properties of metals. So you have to know these properties. Okay. Next, in the next class, we will be discussing chemical properties of metals. Okay.